Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life, and I keep it 100 transparent, totally honest, upfront with you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. We can always dialogue, talk about it. I'm always going to keep it real. So, I'm coming back. As I said, I was going to be back about the conditions in Cook County Jail. And I'm going to keep coming back until something changes. All right. So here's a couple of things. Now, we already know that there's been some issues with acknowledging the inmates' grievances while they're inside those walls. Now, you violate their rights. You stalled the process. They can't go home because everybody want to continue, want to discover. What the hell y'all got to keep discovering? You already know the truth. You know the truth. So why you keep continuing? Why you keep discovering? You know why? Because there's a price tag on every inmate's head. That's what it is. And those walls are money makers. They are. They don't care about the individuals in there. They don't. And again, your lovely state's attorney have already said that the percentage in the jails is 85%, which speaks volume. Now, if you know there's a problem and you don't resolve the problem, what's going on? So you're acknowledging that there's an issue, but you don't do nothing about the issue that there's an issue with. Help me understand, because I'm kind of confused. Okay, so here's the first issue that's going on inside the Cook County Jail. The mail. Mail is being lost. Important documents that's coming from attorneys is not being received. They are lying and saying that these inmates have received these important documents from the attorney. Now, if a person is cognizant of what's going on, they not losing their mind, and you didn't put nothing in their hand, they know how to read, write, and spell. They know whether or not they received their mail or not. And these are the various things that is stalling some of the process. Now, some process and procedures need to happen, that either the attorney give the mail to the social worker and the social worker give the mail to the inmates, or you all need to fix that problem. Now, you got plenty of grievances about this, and their court dates are around the corner, and because they don't have the proper documents, because you all are on quarantine and they can't get the information that they need, that's unfair to them. Again, you are violating their human rights. You are. They have a right to be aware of all their information that they need to be aware of before they go to court. They do. The state's attorney stand their ass up there and they need all the documents so they can present their case. The judge need documents, so you all want to make sure the state's attorney and the judge get the documents, but you deny the inmates the proper protocol that they receive their documents to. How does that make sense to you all? And what is going on that you all stalling the process with these documents? What's the problem? You already going through the mail. You go through the mail. Somebody drops the mail off. A company bring all the mail. And then you have individuals who go through every piece of mail. And anything that's a legal document, if I tamper with it via the federal government and it's illegal for me, you gotta know that it's illegal for you too. And if you send that document to somebody else who it don't belong to, or you trash it, then y'all ass need to be going to jail. Because that's a felony for those who's supposed to be the responsible ones that's holding up the law. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is laundry. Now, I'm not too familiar with how the laundry works, but I'm going to say this. If you have individuals on the inside and they have a protocol that they must follow, and they follow that protocol to the T, they cross the T's and dot the I's, then it's your responsibility to address it. Now, you all have a grievance board, and then you want to make it seem like that these individuals are lying. Everybody can't be telling the same lie. They just can't be telling you the same lie. It can't be the same repetitive thing that they're all lying about. Clearly, there is a problem. Not a small problem, but a huge problem. And I'm going to run this down again. You all charge the individuals, right? You take them out their clothes, you fingerprint them, you take mud shots. You send partial information to the news media. You don't tell the whole truth and nothing but truth, so help you God, but you skew the story to fit what you need it to fit. Right? If it's a white person, you'll say a male individual age 35 who committed the crime. This is how we know this is real racism. If it's a black person, you would say a black man wearing a black hoodie, age 35, was seen at the crime. You see the different descriptions? They get on the inside. Never been in there before. They don't even know the rules and the regulations of what's going on in there. So now they got to fill out because this is not their norm. Now they go before the judge and they ask, could they have a bond? Now, from what I know, the judge have not seen the case, has no knowledge. This is what they say. They don't have no knowledge of the case. So, answer this question for me. If I'm sitting on the bench and all the information has not been given to me and I don't have no knowledge, how can I deny somebody a bond that I have no idea about? And then how can I rightfully and fairly label an individual as being a threat to society without knowing the history of the person? And you don't have the full story. You don't even know the story. You're going on the suggestions of the state's attorney that they suggest that they be denied the bond because they're black and they're brown, right? White person walk up, they get to go home. Pretty much. This is how it goes. They get in there. They're not provided anything. And until everything has processed through the system, they have no money to survive. They have no linen to sleep up under. They have nothing to keep them warm. They have no idea of what goes on behind those walls because it's not their norm. So once they're in there for a minute with the hopes that they get to go home and you all stall the process because you know you got to do the discovery and you haven't gotten all the paperwork, the police stall, the state's attorney ain't read what they should have read 5 months ago. And the judge don't have no idea what the hell going on. She just continue. What kind of crap is that? So they get in there and they finally learn the system. You got to pay for everything. You know who that cost hits? It hits the family. It hits the wife who's taking care of the home because you remove the spouse, whether it's male or female, from the home. So now they're inside. Now the spouse has to take care of the mortgage, the rent, the car note, the kids, the car insurance, buy the grocery, take the kids to school when they was going to school, or make sure they homeschool while they're working at home. All these things, and then have to get money together for an attorney. Have to put up their house if they are able, or they trying to make it where they can get the bond so their loved one can come home. And then when you deny them that they can't, or you say that they can, now their house is in jeopardy and stuff because they got to put up their hard-earned money. Or if you say they're denied the bond, now they got to stay, right? So now they got to figure out how to schedule work for commissary, how to schedule work for laundry, how to feed themselves so they can at least get a decent meal, because that crap that you all feed in there ain't fit to feed a dog. And the money that they're receiving is coming from the family. And if the family is already struggling, now you strapping them and you stressing them to try to pay for a private attorney and then provide money for those on the inside. And a year later, they still ain't been found innocent or guilty. Now they're sitting in there. They still got rights. They're still innocent. But because you all won't let them go home, because you define them as something that you have not decided whether it's right or wrong, because you ain't got no paperwork together, because y'all still in discovery and you still stalling. How does that make sense? And so they go to commissary. They got to pay for everything. If they go to the doctor's office and it's the day they put their commissary in, they miss that day. There is no makeup day, so they don't get commissary until the next round. I'm thinking I got all this right. Let me know if I got it wrong. They don't get commissary until the next round. Now, I got to choose between getting me some things that I'm thinking that's going to be edible for me, and I got to choose between my health. And then you all sit y'all asses up there and you decide, okay, well, you ain't going to get no commissary today. And if you miss your meal, oh, well, you just going to be hungry until 3 hours down the line. That's cruel treatment, and it's inhumane treatment. Let's keep it 100. And so now we have somebody in there. They put their money for commissary. You all decide, no, first they use the money for commissary and somebody else get their commissary. That's happening too. Somebody else get their commissary. Then they ask about, checking into it. Somebody signed off on it, and it wasn't a person who was supposed to get the commissary who signed off on it. So that means there got to be some connections with your COs and your officers somewhere, because you just can't get away with that stuff just to get away with it. You just can't. So now the individual whose commissary is supposed to go to, you done took their family's hard-earned money, and you have given that commissary to somebody else. Okay? So now later on down the line, now you decide to change the commissary without letting anybody know that you are making the change to commissary. And then you add a $2 fee. Why? What is the $2 fee? They ain't working no job. They're not getting no merit increase. They're locked up. What is the $2 that they're paying for, that their family members are paying for, that they can use that extra? Do you know $2 can make a difference in feeding somebody, paying a bill? Add them $2 up. Add them up. So now they're charged an extra $2, right? You're still feeding them slop. They put the grievance in because you charge them $2. Some other things has transpired. And then your grievance board want to say that they are wrong. This didn't happen. That didn't happen. You got this and you're not right. So you tell me that every inmate that put a grievance in for the same exact thing, they all wrong, and your grievance board go along with that bull crap. Something is wrong. Something is seriously wrong with this picture. It's seriously wrong. Now, I'm sending money in to support my family member so they can survive inside of there. I'm sending money, taking money that I don't have to send. And let me reiterate, everybody is not in there is not guilty. They're not. There are some individuals in there that's innocent. They are. And there are some individuals that love the criminal life. That's their lifestyle. We understand that. But I say again, I don't care whether they right or they wrong. They are still human beings. They are still human beings. And so they put these grievances in. And you all disregard them. Now they got to send this stuff to their family members to try to call the social worker. And the social worker has an attitude because she overworked and underpaid. How is this working? Somebody explain to me, because maybe I'm missing something. What am I missing here? So what the hell do we have a grievance board for if they're not going to do their job the right way? And why is the grievance board denying what is clearly coming through as a repetitive situation? Everybody can't be lying. If somebody say, I saw Bobby on the corner stealing yesterday, I saw Bobby on the corner stealing Sunday, I saw Bobby on the corner stealing Saturday, and each individual said they saw Bobby, then hell, you got to know Bobby is stealing. So if every inmate say that I'm not getting my commissary, I got my money taken from my commissary and I didn't get what I requested, or whatever's going on with my laundry, I didn't get my mail, what's going on with my mail, and it's happened to everybody across the board. Tom Dart, what's the problem? Tony Preckwinkle, what's the problem? Why ain't nobody addressing these issues? Why? And why is the grievances that the inmates are putting forth being ignored? And why do the family and the mothers have to go through hell to call Sally, John, Billy, Joe, Linda, Dorothy, Becky, Liz, Sue to get some results that y'all ass could have fixed a long time ago? What the hell? Really? You playing with the mail? That's a felony. Yeah, it's a felony. If it's a felony for me, it's a felony for you too. And you're lying. You're lying. You are playing with people's lives. You are. And I'll say this again. As we've seen, as it's been said, 85% in our prison system across this land and country is black and brown. And to me, that calculation is racism at its finest. It is. Jails are a moneymaker. They are. They're a moneymaker. We already stereotyped. If you drive a certain car, you gotta be a drug dealer. You can't work hard for what you get. You gotta be a drug dealer. That's what you need. That's what you assigned to be, a drug dealer. If you stumble on the street, you gotta be a drug addict. If you walk in the store with your hands in your pocket, you gotta be walking in and steal something. And let me give you a 411. White folks steal more than black folks. They are the biggest alcoholics because y'all drink breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you all are the biggest liars. So if anybody should be stereotyped or look at with a side eye, it should be y'all. It should be you all. Because you don't have no care or no concern for nobody else. You always think whatever y'all do is right. And it's not right. It's not. And then you think we supposed to be okay with it. But we're living in a different time right now. And we're not just going to stand back and let things go the way they've been going. We're not. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. You all try to keep your feet on our neck. You try to break us down. You try to keep us tied up, gagged, and bound. And we're sick of it. We're sick of it. If those who sit in position of authority to make a difference about those inmates, male, being misused, being lost, or whatever it is, and you all are not addressing these grievances, because we're getting the grievance number. They have numbers on the grievances. They do. Each grievance has its own number. And you should know that. So don't throw away the files. Don't hide them and say you didn't know because you did. And here's the last question. What is the grievance board made of? Is it all white people? Is it a variety of people? Is it a bunch of people who don't care about what nobody say? Or are you a bunch of individuals who don't care whether they put a grievance in or not? because your pockets are being filled up under the table? Let's ask that question. Because clearly, this ain't the first time. They just had an article about grievances. Inmates putting in grievances have to call their family to make sure to push to get things addressed. And then you wonder why you all end up being sued for stupidity. You sue for stupidity. Now, you talk about us, y'all stupid ones. You're really stupid. You are. And you think that this is going to go away. It's not. So, I've said some things about these grievances, and I hope when I copy everybody, you all take a good hard listen, and I hope that you address these grievances, because whatever you don't address, I'm going to come back again, and I'm going to keep making it known what's going on. Whose story, wherever I get it from, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to keep putting you all on Front Street and keep exposing you like you try to expose us of what you're not doing. And that's from Tom Dart all the way down. Because you the overseer of what goes on inside those walls. Tony Pretwicker, you the Cook County Board President. You just as much as blame. And Priska, you are too. Because you're the governor of this state. You are. And everybody's accountable. Chief Judge Timothy Evans too. Kim Fox, you on the list too. And on your co-workers, everybody's on the list for accountability. Nobody skates with this. You all are accountable for what goes on inside those walls and how you treat those individuals and how you disregard their needs that need to be met, that their families are paying for. And if it wasn't for them, your COs and your officers wouldn't have no job. But this is why you keep them up in there, so you keep the money flowing. Yeah, so you keep the money flowing. That's what you're doing. Yeah, and I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. So, again, let me know what you think. You have other family members who have experienced their grievances being disregarded and gone unaddressed, and individuals in there whose mail have come up missing. And this is just all of a sudden. It's all of a sudden. Why? There's an ulterior motive to all this. And some of this is trying to take these inmates out of character. That's what you're doing. You're trying to provoke them so you can write this little list of what they did, and you all be lying. You be lying. Because if somebody play with your money and your mail, and that's the thing that's going to keep their sanity, then you would want your stuff too. So why are you all playing? You're playing. And that is inhumane treatment. Make sure you subscribe. Leave your comment. That's all I'm saying.